let's just look at the full on truth on how messy my desk actually is. There's two cats sitting in the open window because I've got nothing to hide. So I need to make some space so that I can actually put my camera stand where it's supposed to go. And I think then we'll start with cat. So where do we start? Maybe I showed this to you before. This is something that I brought from Germany. Because I never used it, but I found the perfect use for it now. It's the perfect cat hair duster on my desk. So it's sitting right next to my desk, and every time I feel like there's so much hair on here, then I use it. Hello! I'm so glad you are here to another Snippets from My Desk video. I just pulled out the last swatch card because I want to make a swatch of this ink. I used my label printer that is not on my desk right now. The Polono M220S that I was provided for testing, and I actually bought more labels. Yes, I didn't think I would because I wasn't convinced that I would use it, but I thought, oh, these look like they're not the same size. We'll see. But I thought that I would want, I used it more this last week than I thought I would, and I got a gift card from Amazon, and so I got two of these more of these labels. One is yellow, this one is transparent, and this one is yellow, but they're all, I thought they were more matte, but they're all very high gloss. Maybe you can see the glossy sheen on the labels here. I labeled this sample, and I used the same size labels as this one. I just put, I think, 5 ink names on one label and then cut it apart. However, as you can see here, this is how I usually see the label or the sample on my desk. So it doesn't stick well, which annoys. I'm all easily annoyed. Maybe you noticed, maybe you know. This was in a package that I received from someone that I purchased 2 pens from. Yes, 2 pens. I was on a buying spree this past week. I'm not the happiest about it in the terms of why exactly did I even do that, but the instant regret that I had right after I sent over the money for the 2 pens, when I tried them, dip tested them, I was able to make peace. They are nib sizes of brands that I already own, but it feels to me that they're just that tad bit different than the one that I have, that they make sense to be in my collection. And it also makes, I can also sell them again if they don't need to stay in my collection long term. That's something we can talk about. So this was in that package, and I thought this was so cute. The dogs, I love using them in my journal when I'm journaling about my dog, and then this was also in there. And I need to put them away, and I use my big Made by Me pouch. Oh, we can talk about this too. Made by Me pouch to store all of my washi, but this is a little bit too much and I need to go through. The problem is, or that's how I feel about it, most of these are new new-ish, and I really would love to keep them here so that I can use them more frequently. So that I can actually, like, you know, that I use them. They're here, they're prominent in my eye, right there, and I'm using them. But, so I think, though, because this is very overwhelming, that I need to go through and just take out some, put them in my washi drawers, and put them to the side for a while, and then at the end of the month, that would be next week. Basically, I'm filming this on September 22nd, 2024. So maybe that's a little bit too close. Middle of October then. Oops, I'm so sorry for hitting the camera. I need to go take the ones that are in here out and rotate through this because this is overwhelming. So I'm gonna put this aside for now. These labels I need to put aside as well. I'm going to make piles so that I put stuff away when I'm done filming this. This is my Hobonichi Weeks 2024. And I've been using my fountain pens in here. And I'm currently thinking that the fountain pen that will be consistently with this planner is the, I don't even know if I showed this last time, the Moonman A1 with my so kindly gifted Pilot Vanishing Point Extra Fine Nib Unit. I used it yesterday. Maybe I can find the paper that I used. Where is it? It's up there. I need to stop the camera. Blah, blah, blah. And it works so well. And it's a shotgun pen. It's so quick draw. It's my quick draw pen. I got it tuned and smoothed by Kirk Spear. I was given this under the with the hint that this doesn't work well. It's super dry, it's not enjoyable. And so I just went through the expense of getting it tuned so that I could actually use it and experience it. And it's really lovely now. So if you're thinking about an extra fine Pilot Vanishing Point nib, then maybe if you're not happy with the one that you have, invest the extra money to get it smoothed and tuned. And I'm not going to use this in 2025. I just purchased. So here she is boldly stating, made her last purchase of 2024. Probably not, but you know, I'm trying to lay low for a little while so that I can replenish my budget. But I paid for the cover that I want to use in 2025 with my Hobonichi Weeks, which will be my planner for 2025. And it's going to come sometime in October, towards the end of October, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's how these things were shipped last time. So I purchased it from the Stationery Selection and I asked Mitz to ship it with my boxes. The next boxes that I'm waiting for are October and November. I already have my August and September box and they arrived the first day of the San Francisco Pen Show, which was August 24th. So I'm assuming that the October-November double shipment boxes will be here towards the end of October. So that's when my week's cover will be here as well. And if you're super curious, it's going to be a And Liebe design cover, and you can just go and Google. Oh, maybe I'll link it in the description box down below, because Mitz was really kind and asked if I wanted to pass along a coupon code for her shop for all of my viewers. And Now I don't remember it. It will be here on the screen. 9 minutes and 31 seconds in. And I don't know if it applies to everything or if there are exclusions. If there are, you will notice when you try the coupon. It's for 5% off the Stationery Selection 931 TSS coupon. And Liebe cover link. See, I'm doing my homework. So, let's talk about this. Yesterday, I was very intimidated by my desk. So I decided, you know what? I could just start another new project. And what I did was prepare for 31 inks, 31 pens, 31 postcards, October 2024. In August, when I still thought I was going to do this in September, I decided that I was going to pre-select the inks and pre-select the pens. So do a pen and ink pairing ahead of time. And there's multiple reasons for that. But when I pulled them all out, I thought, oh, I could sort them by rainbow color. And that's exactly what I did. I tried to go by, I think these are all, they're now all in the right order, by this color wheel, which is from sensationalcolor.com. I love that you can see the different hues, like if it's darker and lighter. I sorted this kind of in the dark, so maybe it's off. But I actually, now that I look at it from during daylight and just flipping through this, I think I actually really like it. But then I had these colors here that are a little bit off. And I wouldn't know where to slot them in on this color wheel. Maybe you can help me with that. I decided I will just put them at the end. Or maybe I'll put them in the beginning. I don't know. Oh well, I'll put them at the end. This one looks kind of pink, but I wouldn't know where exactly this would go in. Like, is it, where goes it? Does it go here? No. So even if it's not the right color on camera, you can still see why I might have problems with that. And then the same with Tulip Moth Warm. It looks kind of, I feel like it could slot into the red or even the red oranges here. But you know, I'm just going to put them at the end and then see what they look like on paper, and it's okay. I have one left, I realized, but I know that one sample is on the way from my friend Lorelei, and I will put that here, and it will not be part of the color wheel. I'm still looking forward to this, very much so. And so I sat down yesterday evening and matched the ink colors with the pens. And the reason why I did this was that, so I'm going to put this here. Before I did that though, I actually updated my 2024 incoming pens list and my sold list because I did not keep up with that. But I want, for the end of the year, I want to have a number. And I also wanted to make sure that I kept track of the pens that I sold and all that jazz. I want to put a paper clip around this, but none is here. So I'm gonna just, oh, how about, what if, would this work? Too thick, right? Oh, no. It does kind of work. That works. Not a paper clip, something else. So I want to put this away. So what I want to do in 31 pens, 31 inks, 31 postcards. I think what I'm going to do as well. So I have this sorted. This color wheel is what I based this ink log on. And what I want to do with my samples that I'm using in this in October, I want to log them in here and add to this book. I seem to love these blue greens. Because I'm interested to see where they slot in, what other colors that I'm using, and it will help me keep this up to date, because I don't plan on, I just want to see how these colors compare to each other. Not necessarily keep them in my stash all the time. But I feel like these little teeny tiny swatches often show exactly like the chromo shading inks that they are, how the splotch will dry, what the writing will look like. I'm using the Iro Utsushi medium nib for this. And this way I can see so many colors all at once. So that's what I'm going to do for 31 pens, 31 days. No, 31 inks, 31 pens, 31 postcards, or 31 letters. I also want to pull out the postcards and address each one of them before October starts, because I think if I can get that done, then the likelihood that I will be able to write the postcard on that day is really big. And last time I did this, I had a setup at my standing desk so that I could do this every morning before I went to work. The ink swatch and the filling of the pen, and then I would do the letter writing or note card writing after work. And the reason why I matched pen and inks before the whole month is because now I want to make sure that, for instance, I'm filling my back filling pens and my piston pens, which I just realized I put one towards the end of the month, but I was going to make sure that they're more towards the beginning of the month, so that if I like that combination, I have a chance of using them up. Is not the right word, because I'm probably not going to be able to use them up, but to make the cleaning worthwhile if they're inked for a little bit. And so that I am giving, the inks that are coming towards the end, then I might have chosen all the favorite pens already. And so I'm giving the inks that are coming towards the end a bigger chance of being liked in the right pen. I hope that makes sense. So there's a sticker book here. I started pulling out these stickers. I'm also working on something that a friend shared with me. I am sending Voting Matters cards to North Carolina residents, encouraging them to actually vote. And I've been using stickers on the back to make them a little bit more attractive. And so I've also been trying to make those or finish those before the end of the month. Now the pens that I purchased, you might actually be able to see it already. It's this one. I've always been super curious to see how the Custom 743 compares to the Custom 823. And I already weighed it with the converter in it, and it is 5 grams lighter than the Custom 823. And I think that 5 grams make this feel more comfortable in my hand. I'm not sure 100%, but I might appreciate having the convenience of a cartridge or a converter in this. And then you can also see the cap is exactly the same. The cap bands, besides the different numbering, are the same. The pen body is not. Here at the end, you can see that this is a little bit less rounded. It's more pointy than this. And of course, that's because this is a functional element of this pen, and maybe they have found that this is easier to grip, and this is not. So both have medium nibs, but I feel like this one is a little bit wetter than this one. So I'm currently not super excited to film new pen day videos. I don't know why. I have written down my first impression of this pen and the other new pen that I own, and I might, just as with all of my pens from the San Francisco Pen Show, I did the same thing, wrote first impressions down. I don't know how my YouTube schedule is going to develop. I would love to do some top 5 of 2024 videos towards the end of the year. So maybe in the beginning of the year 2025, I'll then revisit all of those pens and share some. These were my first impressions. This is what I'm thinking about this pen right now. And especially when I have pen like this with the same nib, I can show some writing samples of both. Because this I purchased not new, but secondhand. This might have been tuned by a Nibmeister. I do not know. Well, this is also secondhand, but having these two with the exact same nib, it is a number 10, I believe, number 15 Pilot 14 karat gold medium nib. These are different, especially in the upstrokes. This one is much drier than this one, or that's how it felt. I don't remember how this wrote with Waterman Serenity Blue. I don't know if I used Waterman Serenity Blue when I actually received this pen. So this is something that I would love to do with those pens when I'm sharing a video about this verdigris. And because this is going to go away, I really love bold plain colors. As you can see, all of these are bold plain. I really like these kinds of pens. So that's one of the things that I'm getting, that I got. And then the other one is another addition, not edition, to my Sailor collection, which is growing at rapid speeds. There is 2 missing. So this is one of them. I own this one, and then this is another one that I very likely will add to my collection. This is not mine just yet, but I went from 0 in the beginning of 2024 to 2, 4, 6, 8 by the end of 2024. That's a statement. So this is the pen that I got. I had just decided against getting the Golden Olive, the pen of the year 2023. And And then someone posted this as well as the verdigris on my Discord. And I asked if they would be willing to sell this as a pair. And they did. So I saved them the hassle of shipping 2 pens to different recipients. And I think I got a good deal on both of them. This is the Sailor 1911 large Wicked Witch of the West. It does look, see, it's another plain colored pen. I feel like they could have benefited from, well, some sparkle. Like here in the grip section of the line, friends, there's some subtle sparkle. Imagine this with some holo sparkle in here. But I'm not disappointed by this color or the pen. I love the, don't know what this is. Is this the same? Yes, same finish as the Imperial Black. And you can actually clearly see, besides the cap band, well, look at this. That's interesting. So the cap band on the Imperial Black is different than on the regular Pro Gears. Like all of them have the double band here, but these are basically exactly the same pen, except for the finial shape. These are flat top finials and these are round top finials, cigar shaped, which makes the pen longer, but everything else is exactly the same. And this one has a broad nib. It has this pen, which is the Nagasawa Gierske, which is a collaboration with Nagasawa, but a Pro Gear. Has a broad nib as well, but I feel like this broad nib is much broader than this one. So, it wasn't a redundant purchase, which I was, basically, that was the fear that I had previously, that maybe I purchased the same nib. But again, I didn't. They write very differently, or at least that's the first impression that I had. And so I'm pretty ecstatic that I brought this on board. This is one that I'm going to use on the second day, so I'm getting to experience it. And I'm really glad that I'm doing this experiment. I'm calling it experiment or project in October, because it gives me the chance to put another ink into my new San Francisco Pen Show pens, like the Sailor Pro Gear Slim Line Friends Sally, and see how the pens perform with a different ink. It gives me the chance to ink up the new pens that I haven't inked up yet. And so I'm really excited for that. This is my Slim Benu collection. I only have one more. I sold my Earl Grey tea. Maybe I already said that. But yeah, I have now, even though you don't really see it here, I have outgrown my 30 pen storage system, and I needed to put these 2 pens over on the functional pen side. So yeah, I'm thinking there's 2 things that I think of, like putting on my San Francisco Pen Show list for 2025. Yeah, San Francisco Pen Show in 2024 is just over. Look at the hair. Let's grab that thing and see what happens. Maybe it can catch the hair. Well, no, it just, no, it does. Oh, cool. So if you get stuff from me, there's always cat hair involved, unfortunately. I might be very interested in, am I going to put these back? It's the 22nd. Or am I going to already start setting up my station? No. I'm already thinking about San Francisco 2025. I'm saying this again as if I was ever sticking to my own rules. Maybe 2025 is the year of less acquisitions. I'm really enamored with my Leonardo Momento Zero Grande with a medium titanium nib, and I could see myself adding another one in a different color to this lineup. Not a different color, a different nib size. So maybe a fine titanium nib. But that would be something that I would want to try out at the San Francisco Pen Show and get it tuned and heat set right there. I feel like with a ebonite feed that needs to be heat set and like just, you know, I feel more confident if somebody else who knows what they're doing does it than me. And so that would be something that I would be interested in adding. And it would also, putting this on that timeline, you know, stops me from getting it earlier and also gives me the opportunity to use this for a whole year with different inks and see how I feel about it after 12 months of using a titanium nib. If this is really something that I want to expand upon. And then I'm also thinking about either purchasing one and picking it up at the San Francisco Pen Show, or going through the trouble of standing in line and hoping to get one. Maybe a 60 pen box from Toyooka Craft, which probably then would basically eat my budget. But that's also okay. I want to swatch this ink, so let me grab all the supplies that I need for that. I want to talk about these as well, and I think maybe my video is done. Maybe I can show you what I journaled too. So I need one of those. These are super cheap hole reinforcers, but they're not plastic. They're actual paper, which makes them probably so cheap because they're not as useful, I assume, as actual, like the plastic hole reinforcers, which are not as good for the environment, the plastic ones. I have all of my supplies right here. I am not using this right now because, number one, I filled some samples putting the sample vials in here, and I dropped at least 5 drops of ink on here. What is this? This is so nicely finished. I was scared that it wouldn't come off, but I don't think you can actually see that there was ink on here, so props to you, Galen. This is awesome. And then I need my ink journal right here. So this is Diamine Lavender. I wonder if Diamine Lavender, it seems to be a purple ink, if it was an ink that would work with the Sailor Wicked Witch of the West. Now, I'm not someone who needs to match pen and ink. I don't even know if I matched any. We will see when I actually film. I don't film along. When I share my weekly updates. Am I doing weekly updates? I haven't even decided how I'm going to share my October project with you all. I used to do a weekly Saturday video just sharing well, it published on Saturday, filming on Thursday, just to show you what I had inked that past week. Maybe that's just how I'm going to continue doing it, because it worked in the past, so why shouldn't I continue doing that? Ooh, that is bright. And this might be a really nice, it reminds me of Waterman Tender Purple, but with the purple inks, I have found that even though they look similar at first glance, usually they never are. Lovely. Okay, let's see what it looks like on Tomoe River paper. I can't seem to hold my stuff correctly. So, why was I talking? Oh yes, I don't normally tend to match pens and inks, but if I have no other criteria for what pen or ink I want to choose for an ink or a pen, then it's an easy way to eliminate some contenders by matching pen and ink. So that sometimes is a criterion for me, especially when I'm doing a project like a pen and ink per day projects. So what is this, diamine? I really, it lost a lot of ink really quickly, and then it didn't write. It started to fill out here. I've been quite liking diamine inks for a while now. They seem to be very no fuzz, no problem inks for me in most of the pens that I use. But as with my fountain pens, I feel like I have about 48 now. Not sure. Need to count. Where's my ink journal? Right here. Ink bottles. 46. 34 plus 46. It's not an enormous amount of inks, but it's also, it feels like it's a good amount. My ink drawer is full in my desk, and so I don't think I should be adding more right now. I do have inks that I might want to get in bottle form, but maybe I should establish one of those one in, one out rules. And there are some that are not full, so this could happen. Not in the course of like, okay, this is emptying one of those bottles will take forever. And then I also got some inks at the San Francisco Pen Show, sight unseen, without testing samples first, and maybe some of those turn out not to be the right color for me. So maybe, some of them leave my stash earlier than me emptying them, and that would give me an opportunity to bring in more inks. So this is lovely. I will add this to my ink down box, which I actually reduced to a smaller one. Yes. This is where I originally wanted to store my samples in, and I wasn't able to because they were too many. But now my collection is smaller. It's still big. So I need to write also down that I received an ink sample. 109, it says here. And so I need to add at the same time. So I have stuff to talk about. I didn't even know I wanted to talk about that. But yes, so I have 109, 110 ink samples. I do not, I'm not sure I went through this, but I do not have any Ferris Wheel Press inks in there. I do not have any Robert Oster inks in there. I do not have any Noodler's ink in there. And so this is what the current state of the ink samples looks like. I feel like I want to put a lid on this, and my thoughts on repeating the October project, I might. So in November, I want to use, see, that's I don't know. That's an I don't know just yet. Because I don't know how October is going to go. But if October is going to go great and I am okay with uninking all the pens at the end of the month, then I would love to ink up a full set of these Birmingham inks. These were all gifted to me by my friend Pamela at the San Francisco Pen Show, and for some reason I really like how these look together, and I would love to use them in pens. And even those colors that I'm not normally a fan of, just to see how I feel about them now. And that is, they're all here. So these two, let's put this aside, plus these 7, so that would be 9 pens. I feel like that's okay. But I also want to do, I'm not doing the Diamine Inkvent this year. I'm just eyeing the Enigma Stationery Inkvent, but they have Ferris Wheel Press included. And I'm I know that I don't really like surprises in the way that I was able to enjoy and appreciate the Diamine Inkvent last year was by opening it all up and being aware what was like, not going in completely blind, just a little blind, worked better. So I'm not sure that I'm up for a December Inkvent thing at all. And I found some cool topics that I want to tackle in December for YouTube. If I have the, if I have the brain space to do that. And so maybe I will just keep using all of those pens for November and December. That's at least where I'm leaning towards. That would also, then maybe I will do another one of those in January. Like, I'm talking about this now, but I'm not, this is not ever set in stone just yet. But I feel like January would be a cool thing to do another one. It would be a really fun way to survive a month where I'm often it's gray, and I would put a lot of color, a lot of experimentation again into my month. Yeah, so maybe I should write that down because I like that idea. We will see what happens until then. It's only the end of September. And so who knows what is going to happen until January 2025. But that is where my thoughts are leaning right now with this whole, reducing my samples. And I'm weird in the sense that I'm actually only keeping a really, really small sampling of inks from these samples, which is okay for me. I'm making a list in the back of inks that I might want to use or purchase full bottles of someday. I should probably update this because I own some of those inks now. And then we'll see if I want to add more inks. Wow, this is so stupid. To my ink bottle collection, I will. But at the moment, besides when you see an ink and you're like, oh my God, this is so cool, I wanted to try this. I see more future for me in having bottled inks and less bottled inks, because it feels good. It feels good to know the ink and not always have to this pen and ink combination don't work. What am I going to do now? All of that is eliminated, and it's never the end of the world. But sometimes these smaller samples create anxiety where it isn't even needed within me, and that's a me thing. But that's what I need to, face. And if I can keep that anxiety, that unnecessary anxiety at bay, then I feel good with using bottled inks, which then makes my channel super uninteresting because I always have the same old inks, same old pens, same old everything. Yesterday, when I was going through this, I thought it would be a cool thing if I set up my 2025 ink journal a little bit differently than I have this one. I have not set this up at all. This is the end of 2023. This is 2024 right here. I started writing down things that I purchased and sold. I completely stopped at some point. I did keep track somewhere else, but sometimes these in and outs get lost in the other things that I put in here. And so I thought something like either them, are they even in here? I don't know. Oh, this is funny. Let's just look at this Kinboard planner. It has what I want to show you. So either a monthly section like this in the beginning of the book or on the first page of the month would be really fun to, if I get in an ink sample or 15 ink samples from my friend Pamela on the first, I could write in 15 samples, out one pen, so that at the end of the month for my stats, I could easily come back here and say, okay, I started out with 150 samples. I got 15 more, but I also used up 18 and then I gave away 17. That's this many samples. It's easier to look at. Or I could use a list view like this. And if I use a full A5 page, even if I got more things on one specific day, I could put them here. Like, you know, I could put them next to each other. I don't know if that's a good idea or a bad idea, or maybe I should just leave, I think, in the beginning of the year, maybe here. Here I did test and thoughts. Did I have a specific list just for that purpose? Nope. I don't know. Huh. Yeah, maybe I should just have a dedicated page for that, you know, the day-to-day stuff where I could log those things without even having it dated. Because here, for instance, on February 9th, I did all of this. And then I didn't do anything between February 9th and February 16th. So would it even make sense to have the dates listed out like that? And then not have enough space to write all of this in here? I don't know. Yeah, so that's a thought that I have, and I'm trying to figure out how I want to have this work a little bit better for me in 2025. And I also don't want to overcomplicate it, because I just feel like this is so much fun. I just put in whatever I feel like, which makes this kind of like a bullet journal, but also not. There's some elements in there. So, this one is too small, I believe, for an ink journal. I tried this in, oh look, it didn't print well. That's okay though. I don't really, or is this supposed to be this light? I don't know. I don't really care. This was $1.50 or so. And it has Sanzen Tomoe River paper, which works really well for me. And you can see a sample test here. So this is ink, this is pens, and this is stamps, and this is the back. It's definitely really well behaved. I talked about this last week, I think. But what I wanted to show you is a little update on my journaling. So I was super duper not feeling well in the beginning of the week, and I didn't really know why. So I did I just started writing here, and see, this is where I used my label printer as well. Now, it's a thermal printer. That means that this will fade over time. And even though I purchased more rolls, I don't really know if I want to keep sticking these things in here. It was great in the moment. We'll see how quickly it fades over time. I'm not covering this up because I don't want to show you. I just want to keep it safe. In my video, I said this was kind of creepy, and I still feel like it's creepy, but I also, the first impression that I get from it is creepy, even though the Techo mask is supposed to be something nice. It doesn't really look very inviting. Someone commented on my video, and I think I actually removed that comment because it was so aggressively written as a response to another comment. and that's why I deleted it. If it was just a comment under my video, I don't care, but I don't want that person who commented to feel what I at first felt like. Why are you so aggressively talking to that other person? There are QR codes in the brochure, and I think I already trashed it because I just don't want to overload my brain with all of these things that I don't have time for. I need to do what is important to me right now. And that's, for instance, this. And it shows, the QR codes lead you to websites where it shows you how you could use the Hobonichi Techo. And even though I unfortunately already trashed mine, now I feel like I would want to go and look at it. Maybe I still kept it. I don't know. If it's here, I might. If it isn't, I might not. This was fun to keep up during the way that I was feeling weird and how I tried to get out of it. I also journaled about this in my actual long form writing journal, and I made a list of what I want to do and what else I could do. And I also tried to figure out what exactly made me feel that way. And one of the things that I felt, or that were so upsetting to me, was all of the fountain pen community drama that was going on. And I would just like to let you all know that that I am pro LGBTQAI plus. I want to create a safe space for everyone who is part of that community. I see you. You are safe on my channel. I hope that I have never given you the impression that you wouldn't feel safe. I feel like I'm able to have a safe space on my Discord server. That is one of the reasons why the link is not working all the time. I open it very specifically only maybe once every 1.5 months so that people can get settled in. And it's not an influx of people all the time. And yeah, if you catch it, you catch it. And if you don't, then you might reach out and I'll send you a link to this. But sometimes I forget, and then you just catch it the next time around. It's not supposed to be I don't want you here for a specific reason. I just want to give everyone the opportunity to acquaint themselves with the server, to have discussions without lurkers. That's a reason why I'm also weeding out people who do not participate in conversations, because that is important to me. And of course, that's how I feel. I have family members who are part of this LGBTQAI plus community. This is so hard to pronounce, but I'm making an effort, and I hope I didn't forget anyone. And I also feel extremely strongly about a related but not related topic. I feel like if we have the need to control something, it needs to be guns and not girls. And if you do not agree with any of these statements, then you can just unsubscribe, not watch my videos, because I just don't stand for this kind of stuff. And yeah, I would actually also like to take the opportunity to urge every single person who is in the United States, who is able to vote in the 2024 election on November 5th, 2020, to actually take your privilege and right to vote seriously and actually go and vote. Because you cannot complain about something that is not working if you don't even do that one single job. Yeah, that got serious really quickly, but that's where I'm standing, where I'm at. I feel like the reason why people are more antsy is because there is a general underlying anxiety about that election and about how it's going to turn out. And so everything else on top always feels even worse, feels more dramatic. And so I'm glad we found out some things that we did. It's kind of disappointing, but I have kind of found my peace with the fact that I just will let my money speak in the future. I'm not going to feature companies that are supporting hate against marginalized communities on my channel. That's just not how it works for me. If I don't know, that's something that I need to grapple with. What do I do with that? But if you personalize your business and make your business or your personal life part of your business, then you also need to live with the consequences that people do not agree with your views, with the way that you live your life, with what you use your income, even if it's your private income, what you use it for, but then you don't need to. That's just the same. It's, of course, my channel is different in the sense that I'm not trying to make this my livelihood. I don't need, well, it's always great to get money from YouTube and Ko-Fi and all the other income streams that I have to fund my hobby, but it's not something that I rely on for my everyday expenses. And so it's the same with my channel. If you don't agree with the way that I put myself out there, the things that I'm talking about, if you do not agree with my beliefs, then you move on and you cancel me, you cut me out of your life, you don't support me, you don't watch my videos because you don't want the ad revenue to get to me from you watching it. And I have to deal with that as well. And that's just the same with people who combine their business with their personal lives. So that's where I'm at. That's what I have concluded from this. I'm sad that it seems that many churches, all churches, I don't know, I'm not part of a church, seem to be very full of hate towards marginalized people who believe in conversion therapy and stuff like that. And I find it very concerning that so many people out there just, put the community over that specific community, and that supporting that, even if you don't believe in it yourself, not speaking out and just accepting what they say and stand for. because I would hope that not every single person who is going to church feels that way. But I would love to know more about the churches that you're going to. What are their stances on LGBTQAI plus? What are their views on abortion rights? Yeah, I'm really interested. And I definitely know that the churches I have heard about here where I live are the same. So I'm not even close to joining one. I have community with my friends here on YouTube. It's a very one-sided community. So let's talk about the very last thing that I wanted to talk about, which is these junk journals that I finished. I originally wanted to collage on the outside covers, but I have decided that I will not, for various reasons. So, these are fountain pen friendly junk journals. This one is the one that I'm keeping because I saved this cover from from these note cards that I am trying to actively use up. So I had this laying around and I just wanted to see what it looks like. And the reason why I even started making these junk journals is because I have one right now in use. And I'm using that kind of like a commonplace book, but not to the extent that other people use it for. I started using this for something else. This is a junk journal that my friend Amy made for me, and this is what this is based on. She just put together some papers and made this for me. This was loose, but I glued it down and made a collage on top of it. And what I'm using this for is, as I said, kind of like a commonplace book, but I'm only writing down quotes, things that resonate with me that I read from other people. Many of the things that I write in here are from Brandy Kincaid. I feel like she is my thinking brain, and she thinks of all the fun. She is formulating the deep thoughts for me, and I'm just reading them and they vibe with me. And so what I often do is I copy down some of the sentences that she sends in her monthly letter, which is one of those, for instance. This one is one of those as well. All the variety, all the charm, all the beauty of life is made up of light and shadow. And I believe that I saw Mitts from My Life Mitts put into her journal. And because I really love fountain pens, as you might know, so here I use this as a hinge. I thought this is almost finished. Well, almost finished. I want another one like this. I really love these different papers and these different feels. And so I pulled out all of the fountain pen friendly papers that I had in my box of loose papers. And I put them together to make a fountain pen friendly junk journal. It is not very junky because I find junk journaling is an art for itself, and it is super intimidating to actually dip your toes into that. And so this is very, very laid back. You could use these to just put down a sticker or write a smaller quote and leave it like that. You could hinge. I like using these as hinges for something else. You could put in bigger things that they stick out. Do I have one of those in here? Like this is a hinge that I just stapled onto here. There is like, I did not include transparency in here, but I put a card on the front of here. I found these colored papers to be really hard to use, so I did not include super hard things to use in here as well. What I did include is each one of those notebooks has the same type of papers. This is the blank pages are regular Midori MD paper. This is plotter paper. This is from a Kokuyo notebook. This is Rhodia paper. This is OK Fool's paper. This is Tomoe River Sanzen. This is lightweight paper insert from Midori or Design Fill Travelers Company. This is old Tomoe River paper. And this is what as I said, a hinge, more hingy than the other. You could put some odd shaped things on here, like maybe this on this side and then something else on that side. This is German school notebooks that are also fountain pen friendly, and then each one of them includes a either glassine or a paper bag that could put in a card where you have a quote on. You could also just stick stuff onto this here. This is from a Midori notebook, and then it's the same papers on the other side. This is what these notebooks look like. So these I made for my gold members over on Ko-fi. I currently have 5. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you are a gold member, I will put a post on and you can request a color of cover. First come, first serve, obviously. I can't duplicate those. The edges are ripped because I just like how that looks. Some of these glassine bags are opened. Some of these are not. There are smaller ones included here, like this one. I left this intact. You could just use it as a paper and just stick something to it. You could open the top and stick something in like so. You could open the side and stick something in like so. And I did not want to make that decision for you, so I left it and gave that freedom to you. This is the closure here, which I thought was so cool, again, as a hinge. I just like hinges, obviously. So why am I not collaging on the outside of these? Because 1, I don't really trust my collaging skills right now. I need to practice. 2nd, there is also the opportunity to use this book this way or this way. If I collage on this, then I have already made this decision for you. So what I am going to do is I will send these out in September, and you are absolutely more than welcome to just start using them as is. Make your own collages on them. Don't make collages on them. And then I am going for my next quarter project on sending Happy Mail to Ko-fi members. I am going to include a collage that is the size of the cover of the notebook. And then you can either stick it on here, you can stick it on other passport size notebooks. You could stick it into a bigger journal. It gives you more freedom to do with that whatever you would like. Yes, that's the idea. It gives me a little bit more time to practice. It gives me a little bit more time to see where I want to put that, what I want to include on those collages. And I think that's a great project for the 3 months leading up to the new year. Let me know what you think. If you are a KofiGold member, please reach out to me with your cover color request. And if you are not a gold member, I have 2 journals left that are for sale. If you would like one of them, please send me an email, cmonay@gmail.com. People who are members during the month of September, KofiGold members, will receive one of those. If the last 2 spots are claimed before September 30th, those junk journals will go to those members. If they are not, I will reach out to you after October 1st, and we can talk about the rest of the details. This one is my next, I call it quotes journal. People seem to call it commonplace now. And I really enjoy jotting down these deeper thoughts into this extra notebook. And now I have another one, which I really like very much. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for your for watching this super long video. I really appreciate you. I love chatting with you every Sunday. And I hope to see you again soon. Until then, bye.